Great. So the last few emails I've sent out, I've just added into the text. If you've got any requests in advance of the class, feel free to let me know and I'll try and weave them into the class. So for the first time today, somebody did, Gabby. Thank you, Gabby. And it was lovely because it was what I was thinking already. So she wanted shoulders to open and relax the shoulders. And I was thinking of an opening of the upper back shoulder area with a view to moving towards inversions, but really the focus being opening the upper back. Hi, Kaz. Hi, Linda. Welcome. So that's great. So that's what we're going to do. It might be useful at the end. I'd like to create a bit of space for inversions for those who do want to go. Well, we can all go upside down in some way, but for those who want to take their feet off the floor and you don't feel confident in the middle of the room, then you might just want to check at this point that you've got a bit of free wall space, just enough for your body, and a block and a strap would be helpful tonight. Okay, so I thought we would start on lying on a block with that opening posture. So we take the brick or whatever you've got, something firm. It could be a bolster as well. You could do it with a bolster, but I don't really can see that. My top's a bit baggy, but my upper shoulder blades are more or less touching. Sorry, the lower rim of my shoulder blades are touching the upper rim of the block. More or less. It's going to be slightly different for everybody. And if your upper back is super tight and super rigid, and this just feels horrific as the first thing you do in the class, then feel free to just lie in Shavasana, because we will come into some more gentle openings. But if it feels comfortable, if it feels okay, just find that space in the front of the body as we allow our body to kind of drape over the block. And just do whatever you want with the legs. I'm just choosing to bend them maybe feet a bit further ahead. You could straighten them, you could take Baddha Konasana. Just find, or Shavasana legs, find a comfortable position with or without the block. And we'll just use this as our settling in posture. Just start to deepen the breath and just notice what kind of state your upper back and shoulders are in this evening. So it's one of the places where we hold a lot of superficial tension. And what I mean by superficial tension is the kind of tension that is generated during the day. So all the stresses, any conflicts you have, stressful situations, we tend to kind of just tense, and a lot of that happens in the neck, the jaw, the upper back, the shoulders. So just notice what kind of a day you have. Has it been stressful? Has it been conflicty? And how's that showing up in your body? Is it hard to lose the frown? Just kind of observing these things. And at the same time, deepening the breath. We're going to stay for probably a couple more minutes just to give ourselves time to open to the shape that we're creating here. Especially when we come into this pose, first of all, it can be hard for the body to relax immediately, just giving it some time, some space to begin to unwind and let go of some of that tension that might have crept into the upper back and the shoulder. Breathe all the way up into the upper chest, and then exhale, just feel a softening of the skin of the back around the block, heavying of the body, yielding of the body to the support of the block with each exhale. Notice as you inhale deeply, like you lift off the block slightly, the back almost presses against the block, pressing it away. And when you exhale, there's that lovely yielding, surrendering, softening, really feeling that support of the block beneath you. And the more we soften, the less pointy the block should feel. Feels more relaxed, more comfortable. Well, just for the first final few breaths, if you wish, you could stretch the arms overhead if that creates any strain in the neck or just doesn't feel good in the back. Skip this, keep the hands forward, but otherwise just really creating space here. A couple of deep breaths into the chest cavity. And then exhale, just allow the hands to come back. we're going to just press through the elbows, or just actually easier is to just roll to one side, and remove the block. And just for a moment, come back onto your back, just allow the back to now just soften and settle into the mat. You may already be in this position, in which case you just stay a little bit longer. And that should feel quite delicious after that compaction, that compression of the back. Just allowing it to soften and spread into its neutral curves. And you might already feel just a bit of a release of tension here. And using the breaths also to kind of wipe the slate clean from the day you've had. Release the tension of the day. We're going to come up to seated. So in your own time, you can just gently, gradually roll to one side and press yourself up. Sit comfortably, so it doesn't have to be cross-legged, but you could also use a block under the seat, under the pelvis. So I thought we'd just start with a short breath and bandha focus, because when we do go into inversions, I'd really like us to really focus on breathing fully and connecting to our bandhas even when we're upside down. So let's just practice that when it's easier. So straightening up through the spine, rolling the shoulders back and down, gently drawing the chin in. And just start to take some nice, slow, deep breaths like we were just doing. Just slow, deep inhales through the nose and exhales through the nose. And at this point, I invite you, if you're not already doing it, to adopt Ujjayi breath. This is the victorious breath. This is where we constrict the muscles at the back of the throat. There's like an audible sighing quality to the breath. If you're unsure, just breathe through the nose. Or you could try doing the whisper test, where you use the muscles that you use to whisper, and then you keep doing that and you close the lips. And try to do it on the inhale as well. Or just nose breathing. So let's just do a breath count. So I'm going to lead a breath count with Ujjayi breath, 5 in, 5 out. If my count doesn't work for you, just kind of ignore me and do your own internal count. But what we want is even inhale, even exhale. So let's just synchronize the breath. Take a deep breath in. Ujjayi breath, deep exhale. And breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just release that. So continue with Ujjayi breathing or nose breathing, and just drop your awareness into your belly. So from the mind all the way down to the lower belly, the pelvic bowl. You can even just feel your feet of awareness just drop into our center. This is our center. And it's also the seat of Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. So just to connect with Mula Bandha, the root block, while without losing any of our relaxed feeling in the legs and hips, just have a gentle, subtle, like an upward lift right at the center of the pelvic floor. And we don't want to squeeze the anus. We don't want to overwork. It's very subtle. And at the same time, just have a very subtle drawing back of the lower belly back towards the spine. So below the navel, just gently drawing back. Gentle lift, like I'm using my finger because that's how it feels to me. It's like a point, just a single point lift right in the center of the perineum. And these 2 points, one coming up, one going in, should kind of meet somewhere deep in the pelvic bowl. There's a point and activation point. We've got our awareness there, even if we don't feel much going on. We're really focusing on this area of the body. And then with this bandha focus, I'm just going to ask you to take 5 more slow, deep ujjayi breaths in your own time, or nose breaths. Seeing the breath slide up and down the spine, but keeping this bandha activation, so the lower belly shouldn't move too much. When I say 5, more or less 5 until I guide us to move on. Keep the focus, lower belly. Draw the breath up from this point, this power point, up the spine into the chest. Expand the chest with the inhale. As you exhale, the awareness slides back down to that point and even to the base of the spine. We try and maintain bandha awareness and breath awareness simultaneously. And this is a simple but powerful practice. Let's do a couple more. I know we've probably done more than 5. Do a couple more. And then you can release the practice. It's up to you. If you want to keep coming back and connecting to your bandhas, and obviously you connect your breath through the practice, then do, and I'll perhaps bring our awareness back there at times. But I'll leave that with you. Okay, so we're going to move into shoulders and neck. So just start with the fingertips kind of walking out as far as they'll go, and just drop the left ear to the left shoulder. We want the shoulders to be dropping down, so only the head moves. I'm just feeling that gentle stretch up the right side of the neck, and maybe even down the arm, maybe into the hand, right hand. If you want more, lift your left hand, take it over the right ear with the fingers just below the ear, gently pull. Gently pull up as we walk the right fingertips away. And as much length on that right side, so you're not pushing the head down, no downward pressure, it's a gentle stretch of the skin. And to come out, just keep that, keep the traction, just draw the fingers up above the ear to the top of the head, and then slowly bring the head back to the center, release the left hand down. So this can be hugely tension releasing, just this. Inhale, center, exhale, right ear drop, right ear drops to right ear, opposite side. Yes, that's correct. And again, left fingertips are walking out, shoulders are dropping down, deep breaths at the left side of the neck. Check the torso is straight up, you're not leaning over to the right, only the head moves. You can add that right hand if you wish, lifting it up, over the ear. Gently pulling on the skin below the ear, walking the fingertips away. And again, to come out, if it feels good, just continue sliding the fingers. So we're just kind of stretching the fascia up to the top of the head, and then slowly lift the head back to the center. Great, and just very simply moving the head up and down, so exhaling chin to the chest, inhaling, lifting the chin. You can release the hands onto the lap if you prefer at this point. Up and down, only the head moves. So it looks like I've got a flower growing out of the top of my head. With the breath. And next time you come down from the top, pause. Again, moving with the breath, so it's quite slow movements. Inhale, center, exhale, pivot, look over that left shoulder. Inhale, center, exhale, over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Keep that going a few times in each direction. Pulsing the neck through its paces, moving it in all the different ways. Next time you come back on the right, just again pause in the center. Let's just finish with a couple of head rolls in each direction. So dropping the chin to the chest, rolling the chin along the collarbone, stretching the chin up to the corner of the room, arcing it over to the other top corner of the room, rolling it back along the collarbone. So nice and slow. Feel like you're drawing a circle with your chin. You don't have to drop the head all the way back. As big a circle as possible with your chin. Go at the speed that feels good for you. And then next time you bring the chin to the chest, just change direction and do more or less the same number of head rolls in the other direction. We're all going to be going at different paces, so just tune in, maybe close the eyes and feel, intuit what feels the best piece. And then again, next time your head comes back to your chin, just lifting back to neutral. And then let's just move into the shoulders. So we're going to do shoulder circles, but I want you to think of it more as 4 points, the 4 kind of northeast, southwest. So it doesn't need to be a smooth circle. So we bring the shoulders up to the ears, we press them back. That's the second point. We push them down. That's like south. And we draw them forward, west. So north up to the ears, east, pointing them back behind you, south, press them down. This 4 points of the circle, just keep that going, and then try to kind of fill in the bits in between as smoothly as possible. So we are gliding the shoulders around in their sockets, nice and smooth. You can kind of just let the hands and the arms move with it. The shoulders are dictating the movement here, or initiating movement, and then change direction. So find those 4 points. So this is, I'm saying this so that we don't miss, again, putting the shoulder through its paces in this case. All the different ways the shoulder can move. And then just at the end of your next circle, just release. And in between, if you just need kind of more intuitive movement, maybe a back roll, maybe a front roll, sometimes just like called pandiculation. The thing you do when you get out of bed and you just intuitively stretch and move is called pandiculation. So you can just pandiculate if you wish in between these more structured moves. Okay, and then we're going to bring the hands together in front of us, and we're going to inhale, stretch wide, and bring the hands behind the shoulders if you can. Just extend into the fingertips here. And then we're going to bring the left arm in front of us and use your right arm as a hook. And it could be above the elbow or below the elbow. Drawing the right hand towards the face. Drop that left shoulder away from the ear. Lift through the crown of the head. Getting this lovely stretch around the deltoid and the tricep. The whole of the shoulder girdle and upper arm, outer arm. Breathe into that stretch. You can experiment which gives you the deeper stretch if the right hand's below the elbow or above. And then release again. If you just need to move in between them, do. Bring the palms together. Inhale, open wide. And we just pause here for a breath or so we really feel that dynamic extension, fingertip to fingertip. And then this time the right arm comes across and the left arm is your hook. And your right arm's in the kind of left elbow hook. Squeezing the left hand towards the face. Again, find the best place, best position for you. Drop the right shoulder, lift through the crown of the head. Breathe deep. And then release. Just give it a little wriggle if you need. Bring the hands in front of you and interlace the fingers with the elbows bent. So from above, kind of like this shape. It's like a kind of a big ball, but with a bit of a corner where the elbows are. And then we pull the hands apart without pulling them apart. So I'm really pulling, but I'm also resisting the pull. So we're creating some resistance, and then we drop the chin towards the chest. And hopefully you feel this is quite a strong stretch across the upper back into the trapezius. So your hands are just in front of your chest, really. Breathing deep into the upper back. Keep pulling and resisting the pull. And then release. And just again, move if you need to move. And then a couple more. We'll bring the hands behind us, interlacing the hands. And we'll inhale, lift up so the knuckles are pointing behind you. Open that chest, right knuckles back. Inhale, lift. Breathe into the upper chest. And if it feels safe in your lower back to do so, just come forward here. Maybe the head comes to the floor even, but just wherever it gets to, and just lift, continue to lift the hands up. If this feels like it compromises your back in any way, then just skip this one. Just stay upright. And then coming back to upright, just releasing the hands down. Fingertips pointing forward. Inhale, stretch the chest up towards the ceiling. Kind of unsticking superficial tension in the upper chest and torso at the moment. Coming back, peeling the hands, the fingers up last. Swap your feet over at this point, your legs over if you're cross legs, and just spend a little bit of time with the other leg in front. We'll just do the side body twist. So from here, inhale, stretch the palms up. Exhale, take the left hand down and reach over with it. And breathe. The right side, right buttocks on the floor. Inhale, bring the palms together above the head. Exhale, the right hand comes down and we lean over with the left hand, pressing through the right hand to stick the left buttock to the floor. Inhale, palms touch above the head. Exhale, twist right hand to left knee, left hand behind you, looking over the left shoulder. Shoulders are dropping down. Remember that south point of the cardinal points. Pushing the shoulders down as you lift up through the crown, drawing the lower belly in to find Uddiyana Bandha, connecting to Mula Bandha and pelvic floor. Very subtle internal work. Ujjayi breath or nose breathing. At the end of an exhale, unwind. One more time. Inhale, take the hands up, palms touch. Exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand behind. Look over your right shoulder. Drop those shoulders down, draw them back slightly. So kind of south-west. That's helpful at all. Connect to your bandhas and your breath. And then slowly coming back round. Just take a big couple of breaths here, just neutrals. We really kind of opened a lot of the superficial areas of the body. We'll gradually go deeper through the class. Just enjoy any extra space you're feeling around your chest, freeing your lungs. And then we'll come onto our hands and knees. Planting the hands actively, consciously below the shoulders, knees, and beneath the hips. Begin to move the spine. Inhale into the cow, looking up, lifting tailbone. Exhale into the cats, pressing through those hands. So this is a great way to unstick the upper back. Just keep that going with the breath. Really trying to focus on that thoracic spine part of this movement, the part behind the shoulder blades. It's a bit sticky, a bit reluctant, or actually not so able to move. Mechanically not so able to move. So don't give it a hard time, but just really make sure you include that part of the back in this fluid movement as much as possible. Maximizing. And just keep that going for a few more hours, or because we're moving with this kind of fascia release a little bit, if you want to just be a bit more free form, getting into the joints, maybe moving the hips, just moving it a bit more of a kind of non-linear way. Body-led, animal kind of body feeling of just closing your eyes maybe. And again, like pandiculation, and like when you watch animals, they just know exactly what they need to do to stretch out. And so do we. We just forget to trust ourselves, give ourselves time to listen and trust. Okay, and then just come back to neutral. Before we come up our hands and knees, one more unsticking posture. Lean into the left hand. Inhale, take the right hand up, press down through the left, reach through the right. This in itself is great for the thoracic spine. And then on an exhale, feed the right hand underneath the left with the palm up. Bring the side of the head down to the floor. If it doesn't find the floor, put it on a block. And then you can unstick the left shoulder girdle by inhale, raising the hand. Exhale, reaching it around for the right thigh. If you feel wobbly at all, just keep the left hand on the floor where it was. But if you've wrapped, draw that left shoulder girdle back actively towards the spine. Anybody wants to have a play here, really connect to your bandhas, drawing the belly in and connecting to the pelvic floor. See if you can just maybe briefly, not hard, it need to be high, lift the left leg for a breath or so and lower. And if you feel really safe and it doesn't hurt your neck in any way, you could also try lifting the right leg. A bit trickier, and we kind of have to use our head as an extra limb. That's why we don't want to do that if our neck is very tight or sore. Releasing the legs back down. Inhale, stretch the left hand up if you're wrapped. Exhale, press through, bring yourself back. The tabletop, just take a breath in neutral or take a cat-cow and go the other way. So really make the most of this first part because it's really good for the thoracic spine. Inhale, reach the left hand up and we press down through the right hand, reach through the left. Try not to swing the hips too much to the left, keep them central. And then on an exhale, we sweep that left hand through, palm up, take the side of the head to the floor. And again, for stability, we just keep the right hand where it is. Otherwise, there's an inhale to release the right hand. As you exhale, wrap it around, find your left hip crease, or you can just rest the hand on the lower back. And just pause here. We're again getting that stretch on the outer left arm and shoulder here. Connect your bandhas if you want to play with the leg lifts. If it just all feels too much, if there's enough going on already, skip this bit. Otherwise, lifting the right leg for a breath or so, that might be enough. Just stay there. If you feel okay, if the neck doesn't feel too vulnerable, maybe lift the left leg. You have to really ground down through what's left on the floor. And then when you're ready, bringing both knees down. Don't worry if you fall over, by the way, it's super normal. Release the right hand if it's wrapped. Press through. Bring yourself forward. I'm just going to sneak one extra one in actually because it's just really good for our focus. We'll keep the hips above the knees, we'll walk the hands out, and you can just stay here. It's like downward dog, head between the upper arms, but if possible, to unstick shoulders and upper back, we drop the chest towards the floor. Maybe the head comes down, maybe the chin comes down, maybe the head's on the block, but ideally the head is resting on something. We take some nice, slow, deep breaths here, into the upper back, into the shoulders, into the armpits, wherever you're feeling it. And then at the end of your next exhale, press through the hands, walk the hands back in, just in front of the shoulders, tap the toes, lift the hips. Downward dog. Downward dog is wonderful for opening and strengthening the shoulders and the upper back. So bend the knees if you need, press the fingers and the toes. And again, we're in a familiar shape, so maybe it's a good opportunity to just return our focus to breath and bandhas. Obviously, we have to focus on what we're doing with our body. But once we've got that sorted, we can just also hold awareness in Ujjayi breath, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. And exactly the same as we did seated in different postures. And then at the end of your exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. And we'll take a forward fold, but we'll just do a shoulder variation here. So you've got your feet underneath your hips. You can bend the knees as much as you need. We're going to bring the hands onto the lower back and again interlace the hands. If you can't interlace the hands, you can hold the wrist. And then as much as is available, we lift the knuckles up and maybe they come forward if we're more open, but just pause. We're just taking every opportunity this evening to open the shoulders. Gabriella's request was to open, but also relax. But what I find is that we can only relax when we first done a lot of kind of work to unstick. And then there's this kind of like, ability to release that wasn't there before. So we're kind of going to do the work first, and then take time to relax at the end. One more breath. Need to come out, bend the knees, hands to the lower back, just release the spine. And bring yourself up to a kind of a version of chair. So keep the knees bent and stretch the hands forward. And if you can, up as well. So this is again opening and stretching, dropping the tailbone. It's like a modification of the chair because the feet are hip distance apart. Try to keep the knees tracking over the ankles, so they're not collapsing in towards each other. Knees can be in front of the ankles, but what I mean is don't let the knees move towards each other. Inhale, straighten up, reach the hands up. Exhale, hands by the sides. And we will do some sun salutations and we will add some postures with this kind of shoulder focus, so twists and particular arm movements. Okay, so starting at the front of the mat, just again, this is a familiar motif. We interlace the fingers, press the knuckles down, so south, the south point, down and back. I'm going to stop using the cardinal directions because I get confused. It's not helping me. So down and back and release the hands. Take a couple of deep breaths, trying to keep the shoulders back where they were. On your next inhale, raise the hands and look up. Exhale, forward fold, drop the head. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, plank or tabletop. Inhale, body strong. Exhale, lower, knees on or off the floor. Inhale, upward dog. Shoulders back and down. Exhale, downward dog. Let the toes and the fingers. Really focus on opening the upper back and shoulders in downward dog this evening. So we do that by perhaps bending the knees a little bit more deeply than we normally would. And really pressing, so it's like we're trying to press the chest back towards the thighs. So the fingertips are dynamically stretching forward, but we're pressing back through the hands to send the hips up and back and send the chest back towards the thighs. So we're not so worried about the hamstrings. Heels can maybe be off the floor here more than usual. And at the end of your exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold, drop that head. Inhale, raise the hands and look up. Exhale, hands to the side. I'm going to start adding little variations now. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, left foot comes back. Bend the right knee so it's above the ankle and come straight up to high lunge. So we reach the hands up. Really strong on that back leg. I'm on the ball of my left foot. I'm squeezing the left buttock. I'm dropping the tailbone. If you're wobbly, look forward. Otherwise, maybe look up. I'm going to come into a twist from here. So inhale here. Exhale. Either it's your left hand to the outside of the right thigh or it's your left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. If it's the elbow, palms touch. We look over the shoulder. Breathe deep, whichever position you've chosen here. Keep that back leg strong. Inhale, stretch back up to the high lunge. You may need to use your hands to come down, but if it's available, lower that left knee just with your control here without your hands, and we end up in the crescent knee lunge. So if you drop the hips forward a little bit more, we can bring the palms together, but keep that integrity. Keep drawing the lower belly in and dropping the tailbone and squeezing the thighs towards each other. So a couple of breaths here. And then again, we're going to twist. So on an exhale, it's your left hand or it's your left elbow with palms together. You choose. If you choose the hand, your right arm just extends back as I'm showing here. Okay, so just a couple more deep breaths. Press the right hand into the left. Resist with the left. Press the left elbow into the right thigh. Resist with the thigh if you're in the elbows position. And then inhale, turn to the front, release the hands down, lift the back knee. You could come straight back to downward dog. You could take child's pose, or we can come to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, really draw those shoulders back and down for upward dog, and exhale, downward dog. And pause. We're going to really kind of put as many downward dogs in as we can this evening, so it's just so good for this focus. But maybe explore bending the knees a little bit more than usual today, and drawing that chest or lower ribs towards the upper thighs. This is going to make sure we're really stretching the upper back as well as the strength aspect. One more deep breath. And at the end of the exhale, look forward, walk, step, jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise the hands, look up. Exhale, hands to the side. And we'll repeat on the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, right foot back. Keep the knee off the floor. You're on the ball of the foot, and just inhale your way straight up to the high lunge here. So now we just focus on squeezing the right buttock, activating the right leg, reaching dynamically up through the fingertips, but drawing the shoulders down, opening that chest, shining the chest forward, and then exhale into your twist. So either right hand to the outside of the left knee, reach the left hand back, or elbows, arms press. If it's arms, always Pressing actively with the left hand into the right to deepen the twist. And pressing the right elbow into the left thigh to deepen. Breathing deep. The twists are great for unsticking the spine. And then inhale, come back up through high lunge. Use your hands if you need, otherwise just with your legs, control, lower the right knee down. Find your way to present moon lunge. So that left knee could be slightly in front of the ankle now. Looking up, palms touching if possible, or look forward, feeling the chest opening. Exhale into your twist. Right hand, reaching left hand back, or elbows, palms press. Left palm presses right, right elbow presses left thigh. Draw the lower belly back away from that left thigh. Bandhas. Breathe deep. And then at the end of your exhale, turn to the front, plant the hands, lift the back knee. And again, child's pose, downward dog, or we move through the vinyasa, exhaling down, inhaling, enjoying that front open over the shoulders, back for upward dog, and exhaling. Here we are again, downward dog. Then those knees, maybe it's good to, even if you're quite open here, to start, at least start in this way, bending the knees deep, lifting the heels like I'm showing here. Some of you might even get the lower ribs to touch the thighs in this position. And then from there, starting to extend the legs, but we're keeping as much or as close between the chest and the thighs as possible. So we really press dynamically through the fingers to stretch the shoulder joint as we press the hips back, press the whole spine up and back. At the end of the exhale, look forward, walk down, step the feet to the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Press through the feet. Inhale, raise the hands. Hands to the side. So we're just going to do 2 more. I know that's going to be 5 salutations, but we can do this. Building heat. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, left foot comes back. We're going to spin the back foot's on the floor now, toes in front of the heel, and we're going to come up to warrior 2. So you might need to make some adjustments. We'll be facing the long edge of the mat. Just find your warrior 2. But we're going to come straight into the arm variation. So bring your right upper arm close to the ear, drop the fingertips down the spine. Option 1 is to use your left fingertips to pull up and push down. Option 2 is Gormakasana arms. Take the left hand behind you with the palm facing behind you. Maybe find a finger hook. Maybe you've got a strap in your right hand and you can hold the other end of the strap with the left. Possibly, as I'm showing here, leaning back towards the left foot, or just stay upwards. For your armpit, wherever you go with this, your armpit's facing directly forward towards the long end of your mat. If you lean back, inhale, come up, release back to warrior 2, and just take a side angle pose to again open the side flank, possibly right hand on the floor or elbow on thigh. Finding that line from left foot to fingertips, opening the chest towards the ceiling, looking up to the left hand, palm should be facing the floor. Beautiful. And then we'll just bring that left hand down. We'll square the hips, so maybe come onto the toe of the left foot. Choose downward dog, child's pose, or vinyasa, and exhaling down. Inhaling, open that chest. Exhale. Dog, trusty companion, downward dog. For some reason, I really feel the extension of the fingertips helpful for opening and extending the shoulder joints here. So there's the sense of the hands being really dynamic and the fingers stretching so that you're kind of reaching forward with the fingertips, pressing actively into the floor, and that extends the body in one direction and helps us find the rebound stretch in the other direction. So the hips are moving in the opposite direction, and the shoulder joint gets, and the upper back gets this lovely stretch between those 2 directions of energy. And then at the end of the exhale, look forward, walk, step, jump the feet to the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise the hands, palms touch, look up. Exhale, hands to the side. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, right foot steps back. So you've got the left foot forward. Spin the back foot, toes in front of the heel. Inhale your way up to warrior 2. Bending that left knee so it's above the ankle, hips open to the front of them, well, to the long edge of your mat. And again, straight into our shoulder variation. Left arm close to left ear, drop the fingers down the spine. Take hold and push down on the front of the elbow or right arm behind you. Wriggling those right fingertips up the spine. Maybe you find your finger hook or a strap. Stay here, opening that armpit to left armpit to the front, or lean back without any twist. So you've still got the armpit facing forward, chest shining forward. Breathe deep. If you're leaning back, keep that nice deep bend on the front leg. And then inhale, release the arms, open back up to warrior two for a moment. Take a side angle pose. So right upper arm up and over, left hand to the floor. Find that long edge right foot to fingertips looking up to the right hand. And then bringing that right hand down, coming onto the ball of the right foot. Again, you could come straight to downward dog or vinyasa or child's pose if you're tired. Always inhale the upward dog, exhale. Downward dog. This is our last kind of salutation downward dog. So again, just maybe coming into it high on the ball of the foot, heels lifted. Sending the ribs towards the thighs and then focusing on the lower body straightening or moving towards straight of the legs. So that we really focus primarily on the length in the torso. Connect to the bandhas here in the breath. And then on the end of an exhale, walk, step or jump feet to the hands. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise the hands above the head. And exhale. Take a moment. So we're going to do a wide leg forward fold with the shoulder variation, and then we're going to do a tree with the shoulder variation, invitation. Okay, so when you're ready, step your feet nice and wide, with your toes, all 10 toes pointing forward, outer edges of the feet parallel. Because we're working with the shoulders, that familiar hand posture here, we interlace the fingers with the knuckles pointing away. So Prasarita C. We inhale, stretch the knuckles back, look up, and exhale, forward fold. Same as we did already with the forward fold. But now the legs are wide, bringing the hands up and over. Legs super strong, because we haven't got the hands on the floor to help. And also really use your bandhas to help support you at your center. So draw the lower belly in, connect your pelvic floor. Regulate your breath, breath awareness. And then inhale to come up, leading with the knuckles. It's like the knuckles are pulling you back up. Open the hands wide, stretch fingertips to fingertips. And then bring the hands to the side, step the feet together. A moment. Let the blood go the normal way again. Okay, so I'm going to share with you, I love this variation of tree. It doesn't work for you, just do normal tree because it does make the balance more tricky. Okay, it's another opportunity to open the shoulders. I'm wearing not the right trousers this night, but I'll see what we can do. But I'm just going to, it's basically what we're going to do is tree, but with reverse prayer. We're going to see if once we're in, we can come into reverse prayer. So if you just know already, no way, that's just not going to happen for me because we come into the leg. So what we're going to do, I'm just quickly showing you, we're going to come into the tree, and you can either just stay here, or you can bring the hands down. This is this lovely sweeping down, and then wriggling up the spine to bring the palms together, press the palms together, and it's like you're using your little fingers to open the thoracic spine here. Okay, so if you're already going into it, that's fine, but otherwise, I'll talk us in. If you're there, just take 5 breaths or so, and pause when you come down. So left foot first, push right heel into left leg, palms touch at the front of the chest, and inhale, straighten the arms up, part the hands, Vrikasana. So this is a beautiful posture. You can stay here. Those that want to have a go, we sweep the hands down, keeping as much length in the hands as possible. Keep the elbows as close as possible. Wriggle the forearms, wriggle the hands up the spine, or hold on to your opposite elbow. And then if you've got in reverse prayer, use your little fingers to press the space behind the heart, to open the chest from behind. Breathe into the upper chest, rolling those shoulders back and down. If you wobble, it's much harder to balance. Don't worry, if you need to come out, just do so as carefully as you can. Now to come out, let the hands come down. We're going to inhale, sweep the hands up again, come out the way we went in. Exhale, hands to the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, release, come down. Okay, so look at something that's not moving. I'm quite wobbly this evening, so feel free to turn and peek from the screen. Okay, so strong right leg. Bring the left heel to the right inner thigh, palms together. Inhale, take the hands up and part the hands. Hands are wider than the shoulders, shoulders are drawing down, depressing the shoulders. Stay here or sweep the hands with full extension down. Bring the elbows close in and wriggle the fingers, the hands up the spine. If you come out in the process, it's normal, it's tricky moving when we're in a balance, so just come in and out again as many times as you need. Little fingers press the space behind the heart. Take some nice, slow, deep breaths here. A great way to open the thoracic spine with the hands in this position, upright like this. And then if you're coming out the same way, and we release and we inhale, sweep the hands all the way back up. Palms touch, we exhale, hands to the center of the chest. And inhale. And exhale. Release. Take a moment, rolling those shoulders back and down. If you just want to do that little bit of a front crawl, back crawl, intuitive, just loosening the shoulder girdle. And that's great. We'll do a time check. Okay, wow. I want to leave a nice big space for inversion. So we're going to come down onto our bellies. We'll just come straight down. A tiny bit on our bellies. And then I want us to use the strap seated. So first of all, we're just going to do a couple of locusts with this familiar pattern of holding interlacing the hands. If it's not available, if the shoulders are very tight, this isn't possible for everyone. So you can hold the wrists, you can hold the elbows, or you can also hold a strap. Hold a strap as close as possible. But otherwise, interlace the fingers, and we're just going to come straight up into Shalabhasana. So inhale, lift everything up, lifting those hands up away from the back and pressing the knuckles to the wall behind you. Looking to the floor, keeping the neck long, trying to expose and open the soles of the feet to the ceiling. Take some nice, slow, deep breaths. And exhale, lower. Just release the hands down. Just let the shoulders flop. So you can repeat that. Otherwise, if you feel ready, this is a strong posture, and we haven't massively prepped the back, although the twists will have helped, but the shoulders should feel quite open. We can try the bow. Okay, so either just repeat this version of Shalabhasana that we just did, or if it feels okay, you listen to your body, you are responsible for your body, so tune in. If it feels okay, we're going to bend the knees, hold the front of the ankle, heels to the buttocks, and then we're going to press the ankles into the hand to draw the shoulders back. So the heels are lifting up away from the buttocks. We're trying to keep the feet touching or towards each other, but it's such an amazing shoulder opener because the shins are pressing into the hands, and that's drawing the shoulders back and opening the front of the chest. Breathe deep. Deep as you can into the upper chest. When you need to come down, do slowly lower, relax. Maybe if you've been in the bow or Shalabhasana, you might just want to windscreen wiper the legs. And just let the legs flop with the heels falling out. And just feel what's good for you. You might have a cheek turned to one side, and then in a moment turn it to the other side. That's more symmetrical, have the forehead on the back of the hand. But if you really want this shoulder release, it's better to have the hands by the sides. If you've turned your head to face one direction and face the other, because the shoulders can be totally passive here. They can just drop into the floor. And just notice, is it easier than usual for you to allow the shoulders to relax? Now we've done all this work, this unsticking. Do they feel more free? You may or may not discern a difference at this point. Okay, so we're going to bring ourselves back into child's pose. Have the hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up. Have your knees together and keep the hands forward. And just sink the hips onto the heels. Reach the fingertips far forward. Drop the head. Maybe come up on the fingertips. Again, just a little shoulder stretch here. And then you can stay here if this feels like it's really helping, or you could just bend the arms, or you could come to full balasana, hands by the feet, palms up. And again, just let the shoulders drop and spread, so the shoulders are very passive. It's one of the few postures where we just allow the shoulders to collapse around the ears. No effort, no muscular effort in the shoulders here. Let them do what they naturally do with gravity. Let go of control, holding patterns, tension, holding patterns. Let them spread and drop. And then slowly, we're going to come up to kneel. We're going to have our strap. So if you don't have a yoga strap, you can use anything like a scarf or a dressing gown belt. If kneeling is comfortable for you, we can kneel. If virasana is comfortable for you, the hero, where we sit between our heels, possibly on a block, then that's also an option. So what that looks like from the side is this: the sole of my foot's pointing up, will be on a block, or kneeling, or cross-legged. Okay, so it's a nice opportunity to do virasana to open the thighs, hips. But the most important thing is our shoulders for today. So we're going to take our strap. I'm sure you've all done this with me before. We're going to take it quite wide and keep the strap taut. So never let it go floppy. You're always pulling in opposite directions. And as we exhale, we're going to start to take the hands behind us. If it's impossible, you need to widen the strap. And try to go evenly. Try not to do the back crawl, one hand then the other. Nice and slow. And then coming up is challenging too. Keep pulling the strap in opposite directions. Try to go slow. Try not to rush through the sticky bits. And then we just come forward just to give ourselves a moment of relief. We're going to do this at least 3 times, 3 to 5 times. So inhale up, easy peasy. Exhale, come back. Keep pulling the strap. Go slow. Really mindfully go at the pace of your tightest arm so that you go evenly. And then slowly coming out. Try not to rush, try and keep it at an even pace. If you can't do it, you need to widen, and if you're not feeling anything, you need to bring the hands closer together. And you want to find that the sweet spots where it's intense. This is intense for me, and I have an ancient shoulder injury in my right arm, so that arm always wants to be lazy, and let the, do the back crawl, let the left arm go first. So it's really good for me, and many of us have similar asymmetries in the shoulders, shoulder girdles, complex joint that very easily gets injured. So it can be really good therapeutic work for injury rehabilitation. As long as you're not kind of making it too intense for yourself, you need a long enough strap that it's intense but not too intense. And only you will know what that feels like for you. Can you smile? Can you breathe fully? Can you not create pain that lingers? Okay, and next time you come forward, just release and feel this kind of floppiness. We'll just do one more. Arms wide again. Pull the strap taut. Pull the left hand down. Pull up on the right hand. If you can't straighten your arms here, then widen the strap. And then swing that left arm in towards the center line behind you. So you're swinging the left hand towards the spine. Or if you're very open, even towards the right side of the back. And keep pulling up on the right hand. And the strap is very taut. It's like twang like a bow if you twanged it. And pulling down on the left hand. And then come back overhead. Pull the right hand down until the left arm's close to the left ear. Pull up on the left hand as you pull down on the right hand. So very taut. Draw that right arm behind you towards the center line. Trying to keep the chest more or less square, pulling down with the right hand, up with the left hand. If you don't feel much, try it with a narrower grip. Some people really feel this and some people just don't. I do feel it behind my left shoulder blade in this case, particularly. And then slowly come back, release the strap down. We're going to come out of our kneeling position. So if you've been kneeling or in Virasana, slowly ease yourself up. If you've been in full Virasana, or all of us, let's just decompress the back of the knee. Just take the right foot out and stretch the heel back, opening the back of the right knee, just for a breath or two, bringing it in and swapping sides. So I just want to share one more. This is probably my favorite unsticking exercise, the upper back and shoulders. So it's called clock at the wall. I asked you to find a bit of wall space, and so that hopefully means can do this one. So we won't do the whole thing time-wise, but we'll do some of it. So we're going to come to the wall. It's very difficult for me to show you. So I'm going to have an invisible wall. Imagine there's an invisible wall here. The wrist is in line with the shoulder, and in this first position, your fingers point all the way back. So if I bring my hand behind me a little bit, you can see what I'm doing, but actually it would be in line with the shoulder. And we press that hand, the heel of that right hand into the wall. I think you can just press you should be standing upright, your ankles underneath your hips, so you're not leaning. And just press, press, press. Dropping that right shoulder down. And then we walk away. So we walk, you turn away from the wall. Or you might not be able to. Maybe just it's already enough where you were. Great, keep pressing, keep the heel of the right hand on the wall. Wow, it's intense. Slowly come back. Take your hands to face up. So again, I'll show you, like fingertips pointing up towards the ceiling. Press the wall. And again, your hips above your ankles. If it's available, start to turn away from the wall. Keep pressing through the heel of that right hand. Super intense. We're not going to do it for as long as I sometimes would. For time. We might not have as much time for inversions as I hoped, but this is a good class for our shoulders, so don't worry. Come back, and then lastly, we'll just do one more. We'll fingers point down towards the floor. So make sure the heel of the hands in line with the shoulders. Press, stand upright, and then if there's space, start to walk away from the wall. In towards the center green, pressing the heel of that right hand. It's super intense on the forearm as well. Our forearms get very stuck, especially if you do a lot of computer work, the carpal tunnel thing. This is really good for that. Re-energizing the wrists, the forearms, and obviously the shoulders and the upper back. Slowly coming back. Release that right hand. Just let it hang. And I don't know whether you can feel, but your right arm should feel like flopping like a gorilla, and perhaps longer than your left arm. And even as I look. It actually looks, I don't know how I've ever seen, but it probably is a bit longer. Okay, other side. We start with the fingers pointing behind us. Okay, so I'll try and show you. Yeah, I'm just show you. So heel of the hand in line with the shoulder. Let's see what this side's like. Start to turn away from the wall, so you're not leaning, you're upright in the body. Don't lose contact between the heel of the hand and the wall, and keep pressing. I know it's super kind of weird sensations. It doesn't feel good. But it's nerves running down the arm. And they can get quite compressed because the muscles get so tight, so it feels a bit icky, sticky. And then unwind. Take the fingers that are pointing directly up, heel of the hand in line with the shoulder. And when you're ready, again, start to walk away. Keep pressing. The arm should stay straight. The left arm should stay straight the whole way through. Right arm is just relaxing. Press, press, press. Breathe. And coming back. And then down. Fingertips pointing straight down towards the floor. Okay. And the shoulder. This for me is the most intense. I feel it kind of, yeah, the inner arm. So each one's going to choose a slightly different facial line. Press, breathe. I think somebody's unmuted. Okay, and then unwind, come back to the center, release the left hand down and just let the shoulders flop again. Oh, Linda, could you just mute when you get a moment? Thanks, love. Okay. So hopefully that's helped the shoulders relax. I said to me feel that. Okay, so let's come down to our backs. So I want to make sure we've got time to relax at the end as well. So we'll come straight into inversions. And I don't have time. The class has gone in a slightly different direction, but I kind of like the way it's gone. And I promise we'll do a proper inversions class soon. But we will do an inversion now. So space for inversion. What I was going to do at least two. We'll just do one. Do your inversion of your choice, but I really recommend shoulder stand is a way to put all this together. So is headstand, but just not quite so, it doesn't require so much of the upper back opening and the shoulder opening, whereas shoulder stand, forearm balance, handstand do. So my invitation is forearm balance, handstand or shoulder stand. And I know many of you don't really do shoulder stand, forearm balance, so probably shoulder stand. Most of you don't do handstand. Okay, so but of those three, do one. If you really want to do headstand, that's fine. Not going to guide it as much as I was, but please just go into your practice. I know many of you are really, strong practice, familiar with this. If anyone needs a bit of guidance, I'm going to guide us into shoulder stand now, but otherwise you just in your own practice, feeling how it feels with the shoulders nice and open, connecting to breath and bandhas. If you want to follow me, have a quick look, hands by the sides, press through the hands, take the feet up and back, so a bit of momentum, and if the feet touch down, great. If they don't touch down, just keep the elbows on the floor and immediately support the back. And then we start to walk the hands up the spine to take the feet up towards the ceiling. And this posture, shoulder stand, I do it most mornings and it feels really sticky in the morning. And if I do it in the evening, it feels entirely different. And this is because my back is more warm from the day. So it really requires this open upper back shoulders. We try to keep the elbows as close to the side as possible. Once we're up, we don't move the head side to side, we just look straight up towards the feet. We draw the tailbone under, draw the lower belly in, connect to our bandhas upside down, connect to our breath upside down, dynamically extending the toes up towards the ceiling. And feet are in a kind of half point, half flex position, more point than flex. We want to stay up for at least 10 breaths if we can, and halfway through I always like to just see, can I take my fingers a little bit higher up my back? This is going to open up the lower back and shoulders even more. You need to be at a wall, that's fine, and if this is too much, just skip this. What I would love you to do is come out via plow. So when you're ready, we have time, so if you're really happy up there, stay longer. But if you're starting to think about coming out, see if you can come down by a plow and Pranapidasana. So for plow, we start to lower the legs overhead. Behind us, if the feet touch down, we can release the hands, draw the shoulders underneath and interlace the hands. That same motif we've carried through the class. If the feet don't touch the floor, we stay supporting the lower back. And the legs are very active, knees lifting away from the face. After 5 breaths or so, we can bend the knees and squeeze the knees into the outer ears, or outer head, temples, ears, Pranapidasana. And the knees drop towards the floor. This requires very open upper back. And then to come out, we just roll out with control. So with your hands either holding the edges of the mat or just pressing down. We really enjoy that descent down. If you're already down, that's fine. If you're just coming down, just try and roll down vertebra by vertebra. And when you get to vertical legs, you can double leg low if the back feels okay, or single leg low. So have a look, see where everyone's at. We're going to come into the fish next. Okay, so there's still some legs in the air, that's fine, but start to think about rolling out. So we're doing inversions focus soon. If you know the fish, go straight into it. Otherwise, I'm just going to guide us in a moment when everybody's down. So we're bringing our hands to the buttocks, elbows as close in as possible, and we lift the chest. It's like an arch of the spine, and we drop the head back, and we relax the jaw. We'll just take about 5 breaths here. Some of you may be walking the elbows out further and bringing the crown of the head down to the floor and lifting the hands, placing them on the thighs. So you're just supported by the head and the legs. Otherwise, elbows are supporting too and not the head. If you are on your head and not your elbows, bring your elbows back down, and then everybody press through the elbows, bring the chin to the chest, and allow the spine to come down to the mat. And just don't come into Shavasana just yet. Keep integrity in the legs, more like candlestick posture or Tadasana. So inner seams of the legs touching, toes or feet flexed, hands by the side, shoulders moving away from the ears. So it's not yet total release. Wonderful. So now we're going to have a good 5-minute Shavasana, and before that we're just going to do some really relaxing final postures. So just when you're ready, just bring the knees into the chest and interlace your hands around the front of the shins or the back of the knees. Just relax. Let the breath go down. We've done all the really hard work this evening. Lots of unsticking, culminating in a posture, shoulders down for most of us, that really requires that openness, that unsticking. Release tension now. And come into a twist. So just let the feet come down to the floor. Lift the hips. Take them slightly over to the left, knees over to the right. Extend the left arm away from the left shoulder and just look over your left shoulder. Anchoring left eye down with the right hand. Maybe putting a block or a cushion between the thighs. Just really relax. So especially at this point, see if you can relax that left shoulder blade down into the mat. Release the gripping. I apologise if you can hear tractor noises in the background. I'm hoping that's not going to last long. Relax the belly, relax that left shoulder. Take your breath into your left chest and left shoulder. And exhale, release. Coming to the other side, so draw the navel into the spine, gently roll back to the center, plant the feet. Just come back through the center, feel centrally aligned, and then scoot the hips over to the right, knees over to the left, extend that right arm out. I like to anchor the top thigh down with the left hand. Again, just put your awareness in this right upper back shoulder area. If we are habitually carrying a lot of tension here, it might be difficult for us to let go of the shoulder blade into the floor here. The chest is tight as well. Don't worry if you can't let that right shoulder blade drop totally to the floor, but just invite release. And notice if there's perhaps a bit more release than usual this evening. More movement, more freedom of movement in the shoulder girdle. Releasing breath. And finding your core, just rolling back to the center. One more twist each side. Make sure you're centrally aligned. Extend your right leg. Extend your, right leg. And draw your left knee into the chest. Use your right hand to draw your left knee over towards the right. So single leg twist. Release your left arm away. And invitation, stay here. This is a lovely twist. And again, the focus is on dropping that left shoulder down as much as possible. There's a couple of extra things you can do here. If it feels easy and comfortable, you can extend the left leg and reach your right hand to find the bind with the left foot. If there's any strain at all with doing that, don't bother. And then you can bend your right knee and bring the foot toward the buttock, and at the same time take the left hand back to find the right foot. You'll probably have to lift the right foot a little bit. This is cat's tail. If you find the cat's tail bind, then again, that focus is dropping the left shoulder blade back to the floor so the spine faces up towards the chest faces up towards the ceiling. So skip all of those binds and just stay with the first position. If that's the most easeful, we want to feel super comfortable here. Releasing breath. So if creating the binds, if doing the binds creates tension, then just don't do it. Simple is better. And if you're bound, release the right foot first, release the left foot. Roll back to the center with core control. Extend both, or maybe bend the legs, plant the feet, and bring everything back to central alignment. Then extend the left leg, draw the right knee in. Use your left hand to draw it over to the left. Right arm reaches away, over the right shoulder. And stay here. This is wonderful. Relaxing that right shoulder blade down, not offering it to the floor or inviting release. Or extend the right leg, find the bind with the left hand, bend the left leg, lift the foot, find the foot with the right hand. And then shuffle a little bit and bring that right shoulder back down, chest facing up to the ceiling, head facing up to the ceiling. Binds are great at this stage of the class if they're super easy. Otherwise, they're just unnecessarily comfortable. And then releasing your left foot, and then releasing your right foot. Find your way back to the center. We're ready for Shavasana. Centralize. Make sure you're fully centralized. You just want to hook the knees in one more time. Take a couple of breaths into the lower back, and then when you're ready, lock into Shavasana. And let's just really let go of tension, or invite a letting go of tension in the upper back and shoulders. So, we scan the whole body, but in particular, linger your awareness in your upper body, your upper back, and your shoulders. Can we just give the skin of the back to the floor? Just be super, as you settle, as you get yourself settled here, just be super aware of your upper body. So just let your legs relax, but then bring your awareness to you from your hips upwards, and just notice all the points of your back, your torso that don't touch the floor, or do it the other way around. Notice the ones that do, and then where the back body isn't touching the floor. Some of that's going to be just mechanical, a natural shape, so underneath the back of the neck, base of the skull, and probably a tiny little mouse hole shape in the lower back, probably lifting for most of us away from the floor naturally. But apart from those places in the back, is there a kind of an even spreading of heaviness, or are there some parts that just feel like they're lifting away, holding, maybe around the shoulder blades, upper back, trapezius, shoulder girdle? Again, just release, relax. Relax the belly and the face and the jaw, so let go. Feel your body melting into the floor, a pool of water, dissolving, melting.
And you're coming back, deepening the breath. If you need longer, if you feel like your body needs longer to really let go, stay just where you are. Otherwise, just starting to bring small movements back when you're ready, fingers and the toes. Maybe taking a big stretch of the body, hugging the knees to the chest. Just gently in your own time, we'll just find our way back to seated, to close together, or continue with your shavasana. And so if you're closing with me, just bring the palms together and close the eyes and just take a couple of just final big breaths, just feeling hopefully a sense of renewed liberation, freedom in the chest, shoulder girdle area, back area, so you can breathe more fully, just kind of blessing this space that we've created in our body, gratitude to our breath, our body, our mind, unsticking the tight bits to our practice. And feel complete, opening the eyes again. And thank you for sharing practice this evening. Namaste. Good to see you soon.